and welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily and I hope you all are doing awesome. So today I've got another video in my Pride Month series, but today we're going to focus specifically on homophobia. So if this is a topic that's triggering to you, do feel free to skip this video. Your health is more important than the video. When planning this video, I found it difficult to sort of know exactly where to start because I designed this series to be short videos giving brief descriptions of things, but there's nothing brief or short about homophobia. There's a multitude of issues and facets that I could address, and I could probably have an entire series dedicated just to talking about homophobia and heterosexism in the US. So this video is by no means an exhaustive look at homophobia and the scores of ways that it's present in our society and negatively impacts LGBT+ people. So today, in keeping with the theme of the series and in discussions we've had so far about biphobia and acephobia, I want to keep this discussion relatively brief and definitional. But if you'd like to see more videos both about systemic and personal bias against LGBT+ people, do let me know and maybe I can make that happen. So let's get started. What is homophobia? Simply put, homophobia is fear, hatred, discomfort with, and mistrust of people who experience same-sex attraction. Homophobia can be directed at anyone who experiences same-sex sexual or romantic attraction. It includes negative beliefs about and attitudes towards people who experience same-sex attraction, feelings of fear, hatred, and disgust aimed at people who experience same-sex attraction in their lifestyles and cultures, desires not to interact with or be near people who experience same-sex attraction, acts of discrimination towards people who experience same-sex attraction, insults and hateful comments, acts of violence, sexual and emotional violence or abuse, the perpetuation of negative myths and stereotypes about people who experience same-sex attraction, and denial that same-sex attraction is a valid, healthy experience. Homophobia is the irrational hatred, fear, and intolerance of people who experience same-sex attraction. LGBT+ people risk threats to their personal safety, being denied or kicked out of housing, being fired from their job or expelled from their school, being denied services in restaurants or shops, being denied health care, being denied basic rights and freedoms, including protection from hate crimes, and even being killed, all due to homophobia. Homophobia also prevents schools from providing inclusive sex education, putting LGBT+ youth at risk of contracting STIs. Homophobic attitudes can be internalized by people who experience same-sex attraction, making it difficult for them to accept their sexual orientation. After listening to societal, cultural, and familial homophobic messages, people who experience same-sex attraction may begin to believe that these messages are true. When homophobic attitudes become internalized, even involuntarily, by people who experience same-sex attraction, it's called internalized homophobia. Internalized homophobia leads to negative mental health outcomes for LGBT+ individuals. It leads to things like hiding or denying one's sexual orientation, trying to change one's sexual orientation, feeling one is not good enough, having obsessive thoughts and/or compulsive behaviors, having low self-esteem and poor body image, increased risk of being in or remaining in an abusive relationship, increased risk of substance abuse, increased risk of suicidal thoughts and attempts, and many other negative outcomes. I'll put a link in the description box down below detailing the negative outcomes of internalized homophobia if you'd like to learn more. Just from the list I've given though, it's pretty easy to see that internalized homophobia is incredibly harmful to the individual. It also is easy to see that external experiences of homophobia are incredibly damaging and dangerous as well. I'll include links in the description box down below if you'd like to learn more about what homophobia is. There'll also be links to resources for you if you're experiencing homophobia and need support or legal advice. If you're someone who experiences same-sex attraction, know that homophobia is never okay and you should never be subjected to those experiences. You're a good, valid, beautiful person who deserves the same rights and happinesses that heterosexual people experience. Don't hesitate to use the links down below or to seek out your own resources to find emotional support, legal support, or psychotherapy. An LGBT+ affirmative therapist can be very useful in helping you to deal with experiences of homophobia and discrimination, and with helping you to unpack internalized homophobia and bias. It may also be helpful to connect with other LGBT+ individuals through organizations like the Trevor Project, PFLAG, Q-Chat Space, a Gay-Straight Alliance, or a local LGBTQ community center or organization. For straight people listening to this and wondering what you can do about homophobia, there actually is a lot you can do to start being a good ally. You can start by being open-minded, willing to talk, and being a good listener. Don't talk over LGBT+ voices in their fight for equality. Listen to their experiences and allow them to take center stage while using your resources to aid in the fight. If you hear someone making a homophobic joke or comment, correct them if it's safe for you to do so. Let that person know that you don't find that joke funny, and you don't think that it's okay. Always stand up for your LGBT plus friends, even when they're not around. Don't let people make disparaging homophobic comments about their sexuality. Stop assuming that everyone is heterosexual and use inclusive language like spouse or partner when asking about someone's significant other. Educate yourself on issues facing the LGBT plus community and take a stand in your local community. Contact politicians and be sure to vote for leaders who have everyone's best interest in mind. Support LGBT plus businesses, authors, artists, etc. Simply believe that everyone is deserving of respect. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, examine your own homophobic beliefs and attitudes. Examine your own feelings about same-sex attraction and same-sex relationships, even if it's uncomfortable for you to do so. Educate yourself on myths and stereotypes and check in with yourself about which ones you may believe. Self-reflection can be uncomfortable to say the least, but it's an important step in becoming a good ally and in eliminating homophobia from the fabric of our society. I'll leave a couple of links in the description box down below where you can read more about ways in which you can be a good ally if you'd like to check out more information on the subject. Okay, I know this video was kind of heavy, but I hope it gave you a basic definition of homophobia and highlighted its negative effects, while providing resources for both LGBT plus individuals and allies. As I said at the beginning, this is by no means an exhaustive look at homophobia, but hopefully it's a good introduction or place to start. This video ends the part of the series discussing sexual orientation. Tomorrow, we'll begin discussing things related to sex, gender, and gender identities, starting with what it means to be intersex. Be sure to check out the description box for the links I've already mentioned and for additional resources, such as coming out guides, resources for finding LGBT plus affirmative therapists, and numbers for crisis and suicide hotlines. If you are considering suicide, please call a crisis or suicide hotline or call 911. You are worth it, and suicide is never the answer. Thank you all for watching this video. I hope you all have a great day, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye-bye!